Hi, I'm Nicole Simmons, SIA's Associate Senior Director of Leadership and Volunteer Engagement. Today, I'm here with our 2025-2026 President, Sue Riney. Welcome, Sue.
Hi, Nicole. It's great to be here.
We're thrilled to have you with us today. We're looking forward to learning more about your goals for the year ahead as president. We're going to start with a few questions about your background and your vision, and then we're going to wrap it up with a little fun activity.
Okay.
So you've been a dedicated member since 1996, serving in numerous leadership roles, including SIA Board President-elect, Secretary Treasurer, Board Member, SI Public Relations Liaison, SIA 2020 Convention Co-Chair, Region Governor, and Club President. What initially attracted you to Soroptimist, and what has been your favorite leadership role so far?
Wow. Well, I think I first became aware of Soroptimist when I was involved at our local community theater in Oak Harbor. The Soroptimist Club of Oak Harbor held a variety of fundraising events there, and I would hear about the work they were doing and the marvelous things that they were achieving in the community. And that was in about 1985, and I would have been in my mid-20s. I remember asking one of the members there, I'm really interested in joining Soroptimist and learning more about your work. How does someone become a member? And I'll never forget her response. She looked right at me and said, "You have to be invited." And that was all she said. I remember feeling really shut down by that answer. And at the time, I was in a manager position, which was required as part of Soroptimist's membership requirements. You had to be a manager or own a business or professional. And so I would have qualified as a member, but she didn't know that. And I've thought about that encounter many times over the years and think about it whenever I'm asked the question from someone, how do you become a Soroptimist? And I am so proud that we are now such a diverse organization and are open to anyone who believes in our mission. So after about a year from that encounter, Soroptimist Oak Harbor chartered the Venture Club of Oak Harbor, which was a service project of Soroptimist at the time that offered the opportunity for younger working women to do volunteer work in their community and to receive support and mentoring from the sponsoring Soroptimist Club. So I was a charter member along with past SIA President Stephanie Smith. And I loved being a part of a group of women, many who were young moms like me, who were engaged in projects together to help the community. We became and have remained a number of us really close friends since that time still. And so I was in Venture for about 10 years and serving in multiple leadership positions there. And in 1996, I joined Soroptimist of Oak Harbor. And my favorite leadership position, I would say, is well, everyone has been different and offered the opportunity to learn and try new things and meet new people. So I guess my favorite is typically the one I'm in at the moment, but I really like those opportunities to strategize and collaborate with other people on it as part of a team. So whether that is at the club, SIA or SI level.
Great. Well, yep, times they have changed, and with nearly 30 years of experience, what advice would you give to new members who are just starting out?
Well, I think the most important advice to any new member would be to ensure that they embrace and really understand the mission. It's the driving force behind everything that we do as Soroptimists. So they can do that by getting involved and connecting. And there's numerous ways to get involved. Attend meetings, attend events, raise your hand anytime there's an opportunity to help with something, offer to help on committees, projects, or any tasks that are of interest to you and that you have the time and energy to take on. And once you have become involved and connected, spread the word. As you learn more about the Soroptimist mission and how we impact women and girls, be an ambassador for us and share our mission and impact with your network of friends, family, and coworkers. Um, Once you're comfortable, I would encourage you to consider leadership, thinking about taking on leadership roles, whether it's within the club or beyond, but leading a committee or leading as an officer in the club are all great opportunities that you give yourself to learn and grow. And finally, have fun. There's nothing worth doing if you're not having fun. While the mission is serious, the time involved should be enjoyable.
I agree with all you said. So, after a successful 40-year career at Wells Fargo Bank, where you retired as vice president and project manager, what professional skills or experience do you see as especially valuable in your role as president?
Hmm. Well, I've used the skills and habits from being a project manager, which include planning, team leadership and motivation, problem solving, decision making, budgeting, evaluating, and so on, in many ways over the years, not just Soroptimist, but also in my other volunteer work and probably in my family life also. I think it has developed me into being a very results oriented person. I don't want to just strategize on ideas and solutions. I want to ensure that all the pieces and the resources needed to realize that idea or solution are available and in place. And ensuring our ED CEO has the resources, both financial and human, that she needs to accomplish our goals is a critical responsibility of the SIA board. The area that I think will probably be the most visible to the membership, however, is in my communication style. In my role at Wells Fargo, I had to be able to clearly articulate project goals, expectations, and progress to my team, to stakeholders, to leadership. But I also have 40 years of involvement in community theater. So I have a number of years involved in engaging and entertaining an audience. As such, I hope my communications to our members and clubs and regions this coming year will effectively engage them in our mission, goals, and activities.
So, we're talking about leadership, and, that we know at Seroptimus that strong leaders aren't born, they don't just emerge, they're developed. So, we recently held our two leadership development opportunities, the Leadership Roundtable and the Seroptimus Leadership Fellows Program to support that growth. How would you describe your personal leadership style if you could do it in just 3 words?
Hmm. um, well, the first word that comes to me is collaborative as my leadership style. The second one, I'd say empowering. And thirdly, I would say fair. Let's go with that. Um, but I would say that these traits are things that I continue to try to evolve in. I think no matter how much development we've had, there's always room for growth.
There sure is. It's a continuous process. Let's talk a little bit about convention. And if you can you recall how many you have been to?
I was thinking about that recently, and I believe it's at least 10
Oh,
that I've been to since I'm a member for SIA, with probably a few SI ones thrown in there as well.
So we're, of course, counting down to our SIA 49th Biennial Convention in July of 2026 in Incheon, Korea. So what are you most excited about for this upcoming convention, and why do you think fellow Soroptimists should make this trip to attend?
Well, I've never been to Korea before, and I always love going to see new places. So that, of course, is a major area of excitement for me. But I think what I most enjoy about conventions specifically is the energy and enthusiasm you can feel in the air by having so many Seroptimists together in one place. You can just feel it, it's palpable. As Soroptimists, we seem to just love seeing each other in person and meeting and talking and hearing the stories from each other about all of those projects and ideas that they are taking part in. And it's just so exciting to be with others who believe in the same things and the same goals that we have.
Going to be a great time, both educational and fun, and seeing everybody together again is going to be great. So, speaking of being together, we are all united in our mission to empower 500,000 more women and girls by 2031. And thanks to our incredible clubs and members, we've already reached over 95,000. And I'm sure you want to keep that momentum going. So, what are your goals as president?
ED CEO Michelle asked me that same question recently, and I'll answer it the same way I answered her, that I'm not coming into this position with any personal agenda. My agenda is the same as the SIA boards that was set when we established the strategic plan for this coming year. Our job as a board is to ensure through the work of our staff that we progress towards the objectives and strategies that are outlined in that plan. So we've got a lot on our plate for this year as a board, with work continuing on the new database. We've got the 2 task form teams that are implementing the code of conduct for clubs and regions, as well as the other task force that's working on the template for club and region governing documents. Not to mention the upcoming convention in Korea. And every 5 years, the SIA board conducts a thorough review of our governance documents, our policies and SIA procedures to determine if there are any updates or additions needed. And as 2025-26 happens to be that 5th year. So there's no resting on our laurels for this year. So my goal as president is to do my best to facilitate our meeting all of those goals.
Sure, we're an ambitious bunch. So from our dream programs to the big goal accelerator projects like Uplift Her and Walk for Women, Soroptimist offers so many impactful initiatives. Which of these have been the biggest impact on you personally, and why?
Well, I love them all and have participated in them all, but I've probably had the most direct involvement in our dream programs, just simply because they've been around longer. But I also have served as my club's awards and scholarship chair for the past few years. There's nothing like meeting and hearing from our recipients on the difference that our support provides them and their families through our financial support to provide them with access to education. But I think I'm most excited about the potential that I see in our Uplifter initiatives. My own club really enjoyed finding new opportunities this past year to be providing hands-on projects for the clubs to take part in and support our target populations. It's reinvigorated them and provided a variety of ways for us to also generate more awareness of Soroptimist in our community. while reaching more women and girls. And I really can't wait to see how participation by our clubs throughout SIA grows in the coming year with this particular initiative.
Me too. All right. So now we're going to switch gears a bit so that we can get to know a little bit more about you outside of your Soroptimist involvement. So this is like designed to be a speed round, quick questions. We'll see how many we could get in just a couple minutes here. Are you ready?
I don't know, but go ahead.
How about one word to describe yourself?
Positive.
What is something you always wanted to do, but you haven't checked it off your bucket list yet?
Visit Easter Island.
How about your go-to karaoke song?
I don't have one.
You may have
But
many.
but just put on the music and I'll fake it. Yeah.
How about a favorite place that you've traveled to?
That one's easy. Sneem, Ireland.
How about a favorite food?
Pretty much any seafood.
The last great book that you read?
The last book I finished was called The Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. Currently wrapping up a book called The Island of Sea Women.
Interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about your family, your kids, or if you have any pets?
We don't have any pets at this point. Many Soroptimists out there have met my husband, Jim, and our son, Tim, both who are Soroptimists also and have been for a number of years. We also have another adult son, Sean. Both of our boys were heavily involved with helping out with AV needs during Soroptimist meetings and conferences over the years. So we're very well indoctrinated into the Soroptimist mission at an early age. And we love spending time with them.
How about if you could live anywhere, where would it be?
I'm there. We happen to live on beachfront property on Whidbey Island, and I just have to step out my front door to hop in a kayak or to go crabbing or clamming, or there's whales and eagles and seals right out front. So, hey, I got it.
Sounds lovely.
Mhm.
And finally, what never fails to make you laugh?
My husband, Jim, and Stephen Colbert.
Well, that's all the questions that we have. So, Sue, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your journey and your insights, your vision with us today. We're excited about the year ahead. I know you are as well. We're grateful for your passion and the purpose that you bring to Soroptimist. So, thanks again for your time.
Thank you.